Namo Namaha, Bhavtam Sarvesham Hardam Swagatam. Welcome back to my channel Sanskrit Sopanam. I hope you are doing great. I'm also good. And continuing in a series, Learning Sanskrit through Gita, today we are decoding two shlokas together. That is the 38th and the 39th shloka of the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. Now I could have taken these shlokas separately on separate videos as well, but since it is a single chain of thought, so it is better that we decode these shlokas together. Contextually, it is still the same setting. Arjuna, he is still giving his reasons to Sri Krishna. But from Sanskrit point of view, both the shlokas are very informative. They are packed with Sanskrit grammatical concepts and new vocabulary words. No new grammatical concepts. All these concepts, how we decode a samas, how we use a suffix with a verb root, all these concepts we have seen before also. But the way they are being used in these two shlokas, again, it is very important for us to practice and try to reinforce these learnings in our mind so that whenever we are encountering any other Sanskrit text also besides Bhagavad Gita, all these learning, all these grammatical concepts that we practice here through these Gita shlokas, the new vocabulary words that we learn, all these things is surely going to apply in all other Sanskrit text as well. So without wasting any more time, let's quickly dive in these shlokas together. So as always, I have the shlokas ready with me. Let me go through the shlokas once. Yadyapyete na pashyanti lobhopahat chetasah kulakshaya kritam dosham मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम् कथं न नेयं स्माभिः पापादस्मान्निवर्तितुं कुलक्ष्यकृतं दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन. So this is the two shlokas that we are going to decode today, and this as usual is the Sandhi Vichhed version. So we have words like yadyapyete, which on Sandhi opens as yadyapi ete, and these blue words, these are the samas, the combination words. We are going to take a look at these samas when we are decoding the shloka as well. And if we'll take a look at another shloka as well, so we have a single sandhi that is happening here. Papadasmani vartitum. So it is a combination of three words, papat, asmat, nivartitum. And okay, this is another sandhi. So anyways, all these sandhi rules that are being applied in these two shlokas, the detail is in the PDF file. You can download the PDF file from the link in the description box. Besides the sandhi rules, it has all the word by word decoding of the shloka as well. So if I miss out anything in the video, all the information is available in this PDF file that you can download. And let us start with this keyword yadyapi. So we are starting with this keyword yadyapi. See here, yadyapi etena pashyanti. Okay, so this is a simple, this is avya, indeclinable, and yadyapi means even though. So if I am starting with even though, obviously a question will pop up. What? Even though what? So even though na pashyanti, and na pashyanti simply means they, some group of people do not see, because this pashyanti, this is the main word here. This is coming from the dhatu drish. We already seen this dhatu so many times before. Drish means to see. Actually, in all sense, it can mean drish. It can means to see, to observe, to witness, to perceive. So this particular dhatu can mean all these things. Contextually, we change the use. Okay, right now we can take the meaning to see. And this particular form pashyanti, this is coming from lat lakar, third person plural. So third person singular we already know, pashyati. So pashyati, pashyatah, pashyanti. Because multiple people are doing this action. What is this multiple people? We'll see further in the shloka. But since there is a large group of people that is doing this action, so plural and third person and lat lakar is simple present tense. And since here in the shloka it is preceded by this na, so obviously the meaning is negated here. So they do not see. That is the sense here. Now who is they? That we'll decode now. So who all do not see? And the response we get from the shloka is ete. Ete, this means these people. So ete, this is coming from the pratipadik etad. Etad pronoun we use when we want to convey this. Okay, we have a similar pronoun, right? Tad. Tad is that. So if I am saying that boy studies, so I am going to use this particular pronoun. If I am going to say this boy studies or this group of people, so whenever I am pointing to someone close by, so I am going to use this. So here, ete, this is this pratipadik, etat, and in first word case and plural. Now, why first word case? All these questions you should be able to already answer by now. Why first word case? Because this action, pashyanti, these set of people are doing. These people do not see. So since these people are the karta, the one who are doing the action, so obviously we are going to put them in the first word case, prathama vibhakti. So in first word case plural, this etat changes into ete. Okay. And of course, since Arjuna is saying this dialogue, and if he's saying these people do not see, so obviously he's talking about Kaurva people. That he might be pointing towards Kaurva people, all those Kaurva warriors, and complaining to Sri Krishna that these people, they do not see, they do not realize. And whatever is the context, we will further decode in the shloka. Now, Arjuna is further describing the standpoint of these people. That what is the perspective of these people, why they do not see. And that perspective is being described in these words, Lobh upahat chetasaha. So this was the samas that we have seen in the shloka also, right? Lobhopahat chetasaha. If you'll separate that, it becomes lobh upahat chetasaha. This lobh, this means greed. This word means greed. Okay. Upahat, this means destroyed. You can think of it as destroyed, or you can also think of it as infected. Destroyed or infected in a negative way. So you can also think of it as overpowered. All these meanings can be connected to this word upahat. And chetasaha. This word chetasaha comes from the pratipadik chetas. And chetas refers to the intelligence, the intellect, the mind or the intelligence. We have this another word known in Sanskrit, chit, we use. So when we say chit, we generally refer to the consciousness or the intelligence. So chetas here is that same pratipadik, that means mind, or it can mean intelligence also. You can use it either way. So we have three words, lobh upahat chetasaha, that is greed, overpowered, and intelligence. And together what this combination means? The intelligence that is destroyed or seduced by the greed. This is how this samas can be interpreted. Now before moving forward, I want you to understand this samas completely, how this samas is operating. So the lobh upahat chetasa, the combination word means from the intelligence that is destroyed by greed. That is the meaning. We have understood that. If we want to decode, or if we want to further open this samas, we can open it as lobhen upahatam chetas. So lobhen, this is obviously coming from the pratipadik lobh. We have already seen lobh means greed. And since I want to say overpowered by the greed, overpowered with greed, so I am obviously going to use the third word case. Third word case, tritiya vibhakti. That is why lobh is changing into lobhen. Okay. Now upahatam. So this word, this is an adjective that means something that is destroyed, seduced, or overpowered. But from where this adjective is coming from? This is obviously coming from this up. Up we have already seen so many times. This is an prefix, upsarg. So we can remove it right now. This word hata. This hata, this is coming from the han dhatu. Han dhatu we have already seen before also so many times. Han means to kill or to destroy. Okay, that is the dhatu we have seen already. Hatva, hantum, we have seen so many use of it. Han dhatu. If I attach this ta suffix, okay, if I can write it here, sorry. If I take this dhatu han dhatu and I attach ta suffix, so the word becomes hata. This is the new pratipadik. And hat, this pratipadik becomes the verb based adjective. An adjective that is derived from a verb. And what does this adjective means? If you remember the use of the suffix, you know, this will mean something that is destroyed, something that is killed. So this becomes some action that is done in the past. So anything that is destroyed, anything that is killed, this pratipadik can be used. This verb based adjective can be used, right? Now, what is destroyed? So the noun here is chetas, our intelligence, our mind. So this is the pratipadik chetas. And since chetas, this is a neuter gender noun, so our adjective here, hata, the pratipadik, is also going to take the neuter gender form and it will change into hatam. Right? If it was a masculine gender noun, suppose, so this hata would have changed into hataha. We would have added an visarg. But since it is not a masculine gender, it is a neuter gender, so we add a ma, hatam. Right? And when you attach up with this prefix, with this, the entire word becomes uphatam. So this is how we are arriving at this particular word, uphatam. Uphatam means describing some neuter gender noun that is destroyed or overpowered or seduced. We can use it in any way. In the contextual sense, we are using it in this way, destroyed or seduced. Okay. So lobhen uphatam, this will mean destroyed or seduced or overpowered by the greed. Okay, so far so good. And our main noun is chetas, intelligence or mind. This is. Okay, but since I want to convey that from the intelligence that is destroyed by the greed, from the intelligence, this from, that is why I am going to use the fifth case, fifth word case. And we have already seen this thing before. Then when we are combining separate words in a samas, so we don't combine them in their in their word form. We combine them in their this base form, the pratipadik form. So lobh will combine with uphat, will further combine with chetas, and then we apply the word case to this last word, the overall word case. So since I want to say from the intelligence that is destroyed by the greed, I am going to apply this particular vibhakti that will convey this meaning from. And this particular vibhakti is fifth word case, right? We use the fifth case when we want to say from this, from that. So in that case, I am going to attach these lobh plus uphat plus chetas, and then I'm going to apply the fifth case vibhakti to this last word alone. And fifth case applied to this chetas, this changes into chetasaha. This is how a sakarant word changes into fifth word case. So overall the word becomes lobh uphat chetasaha. That means from the mind, destroyed or seduced or overpowered by the greed. This is how you can clearly decode this particular samas. And so in all this sentence, yadyapi ete lobh uphat chetasahana pashyanti. That simply means that even though these people who are perceiving these things from the mind that is seduced or overpowered by the greed, these people, they na pashyanti, they do not see. This is the meaning of this line so far. And if we'll move forward, now we have, but what they do not see. That is the question now, what they do not see. And the response we get from the shloka is dosham, that they do not see the dosha, that is the sin. Dosh in a typical English meaning, it means sin. In Hindi, you can refer to it as papa. Pap, a sin, or you can also think of it as crime or fault. All these words can mean this thing, dosham, right? So all these Kaurava people, they do not see, they do not perceive this sin. Okay, but what is that sin? And that sin is kulakshaya kritam. So this is another samas. Okay, I have put this hyphen to denote what are all the different words that are being combined in together in this samas. Kul akshaya kritam. Let us understand these words individually. Kul. Kul refers to the race. The race or this family lineage. The entire family lineage. Okay, that family line, the race, that is kul. Kshaya. Kshaya, this means destruction. Complete destruction. Complete destruction, or you can also think complete annihilation. Okay, if you like want to be more dramatic, so it can mean this also, annihilation. Annihilation or destruction. That is kshaya. Kritam. Let us understand this word. Kritam, this is obviously coming from the dhatu kri. Kri dhatu means to do. And again, as we saw previously in this word, upahat. So same thing is happening here, that this particular dhatu is being modified using the ta suffix. And in turn, the word becomes krit. This. So this verb-based adjective krita, this will describe anything that is done, any work that is done. And what is done? What is the noun here? The noun is this dosham. And this dosham, since it is here in the second word case form, second word case and single entity to single form, second word case single. So this particular verb-based adjective, this will also take the second word case singular form. Same. So this krit will change into kritam. Okay. So this entire samas, kul kshaya kritam, this simply means destruction, that is kshaya, kritam, done to what? To kula, to the family lineage, or destruction that is done to the entire race. That is the meaning of this samas. If you want to open this samas, you can open this samas as kula nam kshaya and krita. So kula nam kshaya, that is the kshaya, that is destruction of the entire kula. So this is kula, that is in what is sixth case plural form, because I want to say destruction, kshaya of all the all the lineages, all the family lineages, all those lineages of all those people who are participating in the war. So many family lineages that is going to be destroyed. So sixth case plural because of all the kuls. So in sixth case plural, this kula will change into kulanam. So the destruction of all the family races, of all the family lineages, and that this destruction that is done, krita. So obviously, again, when we are going to combine these words in a samas, we only combine them in their base level, pratipadik stage. So we are not going to combine this as kulanam plus kshaya. We are going to combine it as kul, that is the pratipadik of this, then shaya, that is the pratipadik of this another word, then krita, that is our another verb based adjective pratipadik, and then we are going to apply the vibhakti in this last word. Okay, so kulakshaya krita, since this particular combination samas is describing this particular sin, and since this dosha here is in second case singular, that is why this entire word changes into second case singular, kulakshaya kritam, similarly as this dosham. So this is how you can expand this particular samas, and this is the individual meaning of the words and how this entire combination comes into a single meaning. Okay, so what they do not see? They do not see the sin or the crime. What is that crime? The destruction that is done to the family lineage, the destruction of the entire race, entire family lineages. Okay, that is the context so far. And then we have a further question, punaschikim, and what else? And cha patakam, that is the crime. Patakam, this is simply coming from the pratipadik patak, and patak means crime. Okay, crime, and in certain cases it means evil also. So etena pashyanti, these people, these Kaurava people do not see dosham, this particular sin, cha, and patakam, the crime or the evil. And if you'll move the shloka further, if you'll open the shloka further, so crime or evil in what? Kasmin, in what? So crime or evil in treachery or rebellion among friends. That is described by this word mitra drohe. So mitra drohe again is a kind of a samas. The main word here is mitra, that means friends, and droha. Droha means the rebellion or the treachery. So in Hindi we say phoot dalna, कि मित्रों के बीच फूट डालना. सो द ट्रेचरी, causing the treachery among friends, causing rebellion among friends, that is the meaning of this particular samas, mitra drohe. And again you can think of it as written as mitra naam. Mitra naam again is the sixth case plural of the pratipadik mitra, because I want to say the treachery or rebellion among friends. So to show this among friends, we use the sixth case plural. And sixth case plural, mitra will change into mitra nama. So mitra nama droha, that means treachery among friends. But since we are combining it into samas, so we are not going to use this mitra nam, the expanded form. We are rather going to use the pratipadik, mitra. That is what is happening here. That mitra droh. And then the particular vibhakti is being applied to this last word. So mitra droh is being changed into mitra drohe, because I want to say that they do not see this particular sin, and they do not see or perceive any crime or any evil in treachery or rebellion among friends. That they do not see any kind of wrongdoing in causing harm, in causing treachery, in causing rebellion among your own friends, among your own kinsmen. So this is what Arjuna is trying to say. So far we have Yadyapi, even though these people from a mind that is upahata, that is overpowered by lobha, by the greed, these kind of people, the Kaurva people, they na pashyanti, they do not see dosham, sin. What kind of sin? So kshayakritam, the destruction that is done on the kul, on the family race, of the destruction that is done of the family lineage. Cha, and patakam, that is evil or that is crime, mitradrohe, in causing treachery among friends. So they do not see this sin, and they do not find anything wrong in causing treachery or rebellion among friends. But if we'll move forward now, he will give a contrast now. That is katham na niyam. So this all is now coming from this second shloka. Katham na niyam, that simply means how it is not to be investigated or understood. So this is a line. Let us understand these individual words first. Katham. This means how. This is an indeclinable or an avyay. Okay. Niyam. This is obviously coming from the pratipadik nyaya. And nyaya means something that is to be understood or to be investigated. So this nyah, this simply means one who knows. But a topic, a knowledge that is to be known, that is to be understood, that is to be investigated or discussed upon or inquired about, all these things is described by this particular word, neya. So, katham na neyam, how something is not to be investigated or understood. So what? What is that thing that Arjuna is pointing towards? And again, same thing. Kulakshya kritam dosham. He is again pointing to that same sin. The sin that is incurred, the sin that will incur from the destruction done to the family lineage. So if you are going to destroy the family lineages of so many people, whatever sin is going to be incurred, that particular sin, to that sin Arjuna is pointing towards. And rhetorically he is asking this question to Sri Krishna, that how this particular sin is not to be investigated or discussed or understood by us. That okay, I understand though these Kaurava people, they do not understand or perceive these things, but how come we are not discussing this? How come we are not discussing the implication of all these things, the implication of all the sin that we are going to incur through our actions? How we are not discussing that? That is what he is mentioning with this line, katham na niyam, this dosham. Okay, that is what he is trying to convey. Let us open the shloka further. Kaihi, by who? So asmabhi, by us. Okay, so asmabhi, this is coming from the asmad pronoun, right? Whenever the speaker wants to convey things related to him in the first person. So asmad, I, me, we, all those things. So that is the pronoun, the pratipadik. Since he wants to say by us, we are obviously going to use the third case. And he's talking about all the people, all the Pandava people, right? So third case plural. In third case plural, this asmat changes into asmabhi. Okay. So how is not this thing being discussed, being understood? Asmabhi, by us. That is the Pandava people. Okay. And on opening the shloka further, Arjuna is very interestingly describing themselves, the Pandava people, as prapashyat. Actually, this word prapashyat bhi. This, since this word is being used as an adjective to this asmabhi, so it is in this particular same form. It is also in third case plural form. That is why it is changing into prapashyat bhi. But the pratipadik, the word that Arjuna is using to describe himself and all the Pandava people is prapashyat. This is the pratipadik. And this word prapashyat means someone who is witnessing, someone who is seeing or observing. Let us understand this pratipadik. So we know this verb root, the dhatu drish, right? Drish, we have already seen in the first shloka, pashyanti. Drish dhatu means to see, to observe, to witness, all this meaning. So drish dhatu is being modified using shatra suffix. Again, all the suffixes we have done before. Shatra suffix, why we use this suffix? When we want to modify the dhatu, the root, into meaning someone while doing that action, someone while reading, someone while studying, while singing. So when we want to denote this, that the action is going on, the continuity of the action, when we want to describe someone doing that continuity action, we modify the dhatu using this suffix, shatra suffix. Okay. So drish dhatu, when modified by shatra suffix, the pratipadik is pashyat. Okay. So pashyat, this will describe anyone who while this observing, who while observing, or who while witnessing, while seeing, while perceiving, in all those sense. Okay. The pra here, so the word is prapashyat. So the pra here is obviously an upsarg. I'm not taking this. The upsarg is just adding more emphasis to the meaning. So right now we can get rid of it. Just understand the main word. So pashyat, this is the main word. Since this is an adjective, it is going to take the same form of its noun. Okay. Noun or a pronoun, whatever is being used. This particular is being used in third case plural. So this pashyat will also be used in third case plural. Okay. And in third case plural, pashyat changes into pashyat bhihi. And again, pra is just the upsarga. So prapashyat bhihi. Okay. So asmabhihi, by us. Prapashyat bhihi. This is just an adjective being used with this pronoun. And this will means by us who ourselves are witnessing, because Shatra Pratyaya, so the continuity of the action, who are witnessing, who are watching, seeing. Okay, that is the case here. And if we'll move on further in the shloka, so there is just one more point, kim kartum, to do what? To nivartitum. Nivartitum means to turn away. To turn away, that is the meaning here. Let us understand this word nivartitum. So nivartitum, this is coming from the dhatu vrit, vrit dhatu. Vrit dhatu means to happen or to become. So we say no vartita. Vartita means something that became, something that happened. And we have a very, in Hindi we have this word parivartit. So parivartit is something that modified. So all these things, all these words are coming from this dhatu only, vrit, to happen, to become. Okay. And when you add this ni upsarga, nivrit, nivartit, so this nivartit simply means to turn away or to avoid. You can also think of it in that way. That ni generally negates the meaning, right? So something becomes, something happens if you add this ni. So that means something did not happen, or you can say something that was avoided. Some situation was going to happen, was going to become, that situation was going to materialize, but nivartit. So that situation did not materialize. So we avoided that situation. You can think of it in that way. So adding ni is giving this meaning, ki avoid or turn away. Okay. And here we are modifying this particular dhatu using tumun suffix. Tumun suffix again we have seen so many times. Why we use tumun suffix? When we want to show the reason, in order to. The boy goes to school in order to study. So patitum. So whenever we want to show the reason of doing that action, we modify the dhatu using tumun suffix. So ni plus vrit plus tumun, the entire word becomes this, nivartitum. And nivartitum simply means to turn away, or you can think of it this, in order to turn away. We could turn away, and we could turn away from what? We could turn away from papat. This is coming from the pratipadik pap. Pap in fifth case changes into papat. That so that we could turn away from sin. And from this sin, because we are using this pronoun also, asmat papat. So this pronoun asmat, this is coming from the pratipadik idam. We have another pronoun that we use for this, right? That is idam. Okay, so idam, again, since this noun is in fifth case, so this idam also we are going to use in fifth case singular. So in fifth case singular, this idam changes into asmat. So nivartitum, in order to turn away from what? To turn away from asmat papa, that is this sin. Let us now understand the entire shloka with the help of Anvaya and translation. Okay. So yadyapi, even though ete, that is these people refers to the Kaurava people. That even though these people who from chetasaha, from a mind, from an intelligence, from a mind that is upahata, that is empowered, that is overpowered by lobha, by the greed, and that is infected by the greed, overpowered by greed, infected by greed. So even though these people who from a mind empowered and infected by greed do not realize, na pashyanti. So na pashyanti, do not realize also, do not see also. Again, I told you, that this pashyanti can be taken in any form. Realize, perceive, see, observe, witness. So even though these people who from a mind empowered and infected by greed do not realize the sin, the dosham, and what kind of sin? That of the destruction, of the kshaya, that is kritam, that is done to the kula, to the family lineages. So the sin of the destruction done to the family lineage, and crime that is patakam, crime or evil. And they do not realize any evil or any crime in mitradrohe, in rebellion or treachery, in causing rebellion or treachery among friends. So even though these people who are of this mindset, that they do not see anything wrong in the destruction of the family lineages and in causing rebellion or treachery among friends, and since he is starting the sentence with yadyapi, that even though, so generally even though this, but also this, we say no, that even though the teacher scolded you, but still you had to listen to her. Even though teacher gave you good marks, but still you had to work harder. So there is always a but attached to this. So even though Arjuna is saying all these things, that even though Kaurava people, they do this and this, but still, O Krishna, this is coming from here, Janardana. You have in the end, no, Janardana. Janardan. So Janardan is again another word of Shri Krishna, and he is just using it as a Sambodhana vibhakti, to address Shri Krishna. That even though Kaurava people, they do this, and this, but still, O Krishna, how? Katham is the fault that is this sin. He's talking about this particular sin, the same sin. That how is this fault, how this sin, naniyam, is not to be investigated or understood by us. By us, that is asmabhi. That how this thing, the implication of this sin is not to be understood, asmabi, by us. And how he describes himself and all the Pandava people as prapashyat bihi. That who ourselves are witnessing it happen. That if they are doing it and they are not realizing is that is their problem, but we who ourselves are witnessing it happen, how we are not discussing, how we are not trying to investigate or understand this entire situation, this entire implication of all the sins that is getting incurred by doing so and so act. That is what he means. And why he wants to discuss it, what he wants to achieve with this, to turn away, nivartitum. Arjuna wants to nivartitum, to turn away, or essentially to save ourselves, to save himself and all the Pandava people, to save himself or to turn away from what? To turn away from asmat papat, from this sin. That to turn away, to avoid this sin, essentially means. Okay, so that is the entire meaning of these two shlokas combined. Okay, so that was it. That was the entire decoding of these shlokas. I agree that this shloka may have a lot of samas and lot of things that are happening, but that is why I wanted to take these shlokas precisely together, because together only you will better understand the context. And at this stage, all this use of suffix, all this decoding of the samas, everything, contextually it should start to make sense to you, because all these suffixes and everything, we have covered them so many times before also, we are again reusing them again and again. So we use a suffix, we make a verb based adjective, then again adjective follow the same noun and pronoun. All these logics, all these things we have seen so many times, just repeating again and again in different contexts, in different usages. So if you found this video a bit lengthy or a bit tricky, try to rewatch this video again. Try to first go through the PDF sheet also, so that you familiarize with all the grammatical concepts and at least the vocabulary part. So go through the PDF file and then you can revisit this video again to see what all is happening. So with this, I'll leave you in this video. I'll meet you in the next video with another shloka. Until then, stay awesome, stay happy, keep learning Sanskrit. Vayam punah milamaha. Dhanyavad.